Honorable Speaker, about 1 year ago, this time, as we debate the request by Fiji Airways, this company terminated the employment of 758 people, human beings. And this government prides itself with here notion of not leaving anyone behind. I wish to remind us to remember those people, to pray for them, because I feel very, very sadly, it's ironical and cynical here that we are looking to assist Fiji Airways without their interest being factored into any form of request or assistance to Fiji Airways. The least that this company should have done is to tell those families, we will hold. We can't pay you, okay, you can go, but we will hold your employment and you do not have to reapply. What's happening now is that people, former staff who are reapplying, they have an excuse to dismiss, not to accept people they do not want. Having said that, let me say this again, Honorable Speaker. Yesterday, the Honorable Minister for Economy said that his government has spent $300 million on COVID so far. Now, I wish for him to clarify that when he takes on the stand to make his right of reply. How much of that money came from government? Because we should acknowledge who were the contributors to that. I think that money came from FNPF, that money came from Australia, that money came from the donation from New Zealand, from the donation of the USA, WHO, India. And I think I know that they will acknowledge that Australia is paying for the accommodation. Australia or WHO was paying for the quarantine, all those facilities. And it is important for any government to acknowledge this. And, he is guilty of intellectual dishonesty in not acknowledging those people. He should say with us. And that is a reflection of this government. It uses people and disposes of them. And the Honorable Minister of Economy has failed us. Has failed us in his policies and his management. And I'm talking here in terms of the outcome. Not even before we came to COVID. He failed. And for that, I'm asking for him to resign and take this motion of his outside with him. Because we don't need losers. Honorable Dr. Reddy can be our minister, new Minister for Economy. And while I'm still there, Honorable Speaker, I wish also to call for the resignation of the Prime Minister as Minister for Sugar, so that we can have Dr. Reddy as our new Minister for Economy and also Minister for Sugar. I'm basing myself primarily here on performance, outcomes. They have produced nothing. And we need, new ways of thinking. And that is also the reason why I'm very, very sad about the motion that we have before the House. Because the same thing that he has done for the economy, he will do for the nation in relation to the motion, asking us to agree to it. It is very, very dangerous. And if we look at it, the wording of the motion, Honorable Speaker, just read through it. That is asking Parliament, or through Parliament, the people of Fiji, to agree to the guarantee of $440 million until the guarantee finishes, finalized or discharged by the lender or fully settled. So when, in perpetuity, Where is transparency? Where is accountability in this kind of motion? You can't leave something open-ended. We profess accountability and transparency. And for that, we demand that there is a limit so that at that time, when that ends, FCB can come back to us and tell us how it is behaving, how it is performing. But no. So what kind of childish motion is this? And I can tell you, Honorable Speaker, we don't even have the capacity or the qualification to say yes or no to such an important question, whether to agree to this. And let me illustrate it. And let me just repeat that again. Parliament, in this 30 minutes or 3 hours or so of debate, does not have the quality or the capacity to say yes or no to such an important decision as this. So, let me illustrate it. Firstly, we do not know. We are blinded. You know, Honorable Minister for Economy went on a tirade for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Never did he say or told us the total exposure. These are important facts that we should know. What is the total exposure? What is the total debt? What are the benefits that this company is giving to the nation that it deserves this House to say yes to its request, bearing in mind especially what it has done to the poor 758 people that it terminated. We are not here to save planes. We are here to save people. Let me say that again. People first. Second, we really need to know a cost-benefit analysis. He did not even address that. So where do we look at? Where do we look to, for me, to make a mature judgment about this request? What are the benefits? What are the costs? That is why I'm saying that we cannot make a decision. There's a big caveat there. Fiji Airways does not bring its financial accounts to Parliament. So why are we being asked to say yes to a request by a company that does not allow us to look at its books, to look at its activities? You know, it does not have, morally, it's morally wrong for us to be doing that. And the benefits of this, Honorable Speaker, we only have to look at FBC. FBC has its own auditors, but still the auditor report examines that. And the auditor report has found fault in FBC. And those are the advantages, which I will address when I come to the next motion. Why it is important for us to be looking at the books and the activities of these companies in order for us to allow us to agree to its request. Next, Honorable Speaker, Fiji Airways is like FSC in that it is totally insolvent. And the only thing that is keeping it alive is the public money that we are needing. So are we being asked here to give a guarantee or assistance to a company that is technically insolvent? The public will be pointing a finger at us. We are the elders of this nation. We must make a mature judgment. We cannot be asked to guarantee something that is insolvent. It's not earning any money for one whole year. And therein lies the faultness or the weakness of this company, the reason why it came back. Last year, it made its forecast that COVID will be ended in 1 year. So it came to us and asked for that. 1 year guarantee. And that it shows us, Honorable Speaker, the uncertainty of COVID. We cannot be giving a guarantee for some that is uncertain, when we are unsure that it will be paid back, and for a company that is technically insolvent, that has had no income for an whole year. And this is a peculiar company that does not own the assets or the planes that we are being asked. It is owned by a leasing company. And as I said, I cannot find the owners of this company. So why did it not? I'm sure there must be some clauses there, force majeure or something that will give it an excuse to return these planes to the owners instead of allowing us to hang in the noose, to use their own words, paying out 38 million from our hard-earned income that we should be using to our children, that we should be using and applying to the 758 people that it has dismissed. Honorable Speaker, Fiji Airways dealings, or its true status, it's unknown, it's secretive. And we had called for an inquiry so that we can look at it for an objectivity. And they have refused it. We need an inquiry if we are to give to them. We should have the satisfaction. And the only satisfaction will come if we can look at their books and activities, which we don't have. So we are being asked here to blindly say yes and support a guarantee without knowing the full extent of what could be secretive in its dealings. And Honorable Speaker, we need to know what really is the agenda by the Honorable Minister for Economy. Yesterday, we were asked to guarantee FDB. Today, we are doing this. Why is all this happening? It looks like he's dragging the whole nation to his ideals. It looks to me that the Honorable Minister of Economy is an idealist. An idealist and practicality do not go hand in hand. His ideals on the economy has brought the economy to its knees. His ideals on this will again drag us into that. And there's also another example. His ideals on equality, equal citizenry, or MRS are all failing in breach of human rights. And the point I'm saying is we must be practical. We must make an objective judgment. And we need information that we do not have. And Honorable Speaker, just look at our GDP, 9 billion. Debt liabilities, about 15 billion. GDP ratio over our liability, over 170%. So you tell me, Honorable Speaker, can we afford to give this guarantee or no? We don't. From December, there has been no money. We've been living on donations from New Zealand, from Australia. From that time, we need a supplementary budget, and we're still waiting for that. And I can see Honorable Usumate shaking his hand. When you don't have the money, we need a supplementary budget to tell us how we're going to do it. That's the sad situation of the economy. And I will end again, Honorable Speaker, by quoting to the Honorable Minister for Economy, for him to answer the views in relation to Fiji Airways by Savanathan Harumbe. And I quote, quoting him, quote, the finance position of this company because of COVID is a concern that the risk of government compromise of the company defaulting on the loan is multiplied many, many times over. So there is a very big risk that this company that is already insolvent will go under. And the practical situation here is for him to fold it up. What's stopping him from winding it up? we don't have to have an image, national image or national career. We have to be practical. Those countries are different from us. They don't have a distressing financial situation that Fiji has. So don't compare us with New Zealand. Don't compare us with Australia. Don't compare us with the USA. And continuing with the quotation, this is what Narumba says: Fiji Airways and government has been way too optimistic, which has prevented them from taking a proactive actions with consequences. You simply cannot compare other countries to Fiji because other countries do not have a financial distress. We must be concerned because the cash flow crisis at Fiji Airways will drag the whole country down with it. The shareholder minister, meaning the Minister of Economy, in my view, not only built the time bomb at our national carrier, but also lit the fuse, unquote. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. No, I'm sorry. In conclusion, let me say this, Honorable Speaker. No, the gist of what I'm saying here is that we need information to make a mature and objective judgment. And Section 145 of the Constitution is there for us to follow. Section 145 of the Constitution was quoted earlier by Honorable Randrondo. But the problem with that section is that it does not make it compulsory for the Honorable Minister to bring to the House information. No information where we make a mature judgment. It says may, so it's discretionary. But for the purpose of accountability and transparency, he is advised. Section 147 is advising him to go to the people who know, PricewaterhouseCoopers or other company, to make an assessment, objective assessment, with a recommendation that put that to the House for us to debate on and agree to. That is the correct way to do this. Not like what's happening here. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
I thank the Honourable Niko Nawaikula for his contribution to the debate. I give the floor to Andili Tion Bara. You have the floor, ma'am.
Honourable Speaker, sir, I rise to contribute to the motion before the House.